All right, welcome back to the Fairweather Friends podcast. As always, I'm Veg, and on my left, Ricky Reyes.
Hey.
Last time you introduced yourself, we've been drinking. Before we introduce our friend for this episode, a few updates. Our friend just waved on Skype. This is a podcast, just so you know.
Oh, people can't see me?
No, we're not live on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was waving to you guys.
we could record it and put it on YouTube.
No, it can go on YouTube, I guess, but
That's in that little
it's not live right now. A few updates. The Amazon gift cards I won through Missed Play, playing games on my phone, went toward podcasting paraphernalia, as I promised.
It's a drug.
$20 did not pay for everything, but I didn't spend a whole bunch of money.
Nice.
So that's good. And I started playing a new game on there that I had played a long time ago.
What is it?
It's called Dominations, another game where you build a town and destroy other people's towns. But so I'm on my way to another gift card.
Attaboy.
Funding our podcasting dreams one Amazon gift card at a time.
Small step at a time.
Takes me about a month to earn each one on playing games on my phone.
Takes us about a month to record these days.
Oh, man. Life sucks. Too much. I mean, life gets in the way of having fun. Which brings me to my other update. The job, if you've listened to the podcast, that I got, been there 2 months now. They trained me on bundle cut way quickly.
Holy fuck, it's been 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months already. Been working there. So they trained me on bundle cut, which bundle cut is, so it's a wood processing facility. We're the last department. It's packaging. So the wood comes to us. It's all done, except that it's still super fucking long. And so we cut it down to the bundle sizes needed for orders. So I'm being trusted to make the last cut now already, 2 months in.
Attaboy.
I got 1 day of training. And
You're
then,
a lumberjack.
huh?
Said you're a real lumberjack.
He belongs
Yeah, I
on
mean-
the front of a paper towel.
It's not a...
Bounty?
Oh, the Brawny. You said Bounty again. Bounty's the bald guy. I got a beard.
No, that's
Brawny.
yeah.
Brawny. But so they're trusting me to do the cuts already 2 months in, which is apparently way earlier than they usually do. And now I'm going to get trained after this on the crane to be the backup crane operator.
Sweet.
After I train the guy who got hired before me on bundle cut. They really like me. I don't know why.
That's good. Yeah.
So things going good at work. Still
Yeah.
doesn't pay jack.
Smart guy.
I'm going to keep looking at Boeing. They start higher than I'm making already.
Yeah,
Well, I'm only-
after that fiasco with those jets that crashed. Boeing
Oh, yeah. Boeing might not be hiring for a little while.
They're still making planes. They're just flying them over to Moses Lake, according to my father.
Yeah, so our friend for this episode is Christine Smithberg, a.k.a. Teeny. Her dad's worked at Boeing for over 40 years.
Yep.
How have you not gotten your foot in the door then?
They don't ask you. They don't ask you that when you apply online. Who do you know?
You can't name drop Matt Saldivar, who just started a couple of...
No, I asked him about what departments I should apply at, and they rejected me.
And your mortal enemy, David Harries, is the one that got Saldivar turned onto the job.
Did he?
Yeah.
The one person I've never liked, literally in the whole world, that I've known personally. There's a lot of people I don't actually know that I don't like. I don't think I have any other updates. You're always lax on them, but I know you've got updates.
Not really. Lori will be here next week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, your fiance's coming for like
A week.
we're gonna hit
Check
up a
out the-
Mariners game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Tulip
Teeny, if you
Festival.
want to go to the Mariners game on the 16th.
I'm going to be on Maui.
Ooh, on Maui.
Oh yeah, so she spent a year living on Maui, so she uses the correct Hawaiian terms. Why are you going to Maui?
For my birthday?
Oh,
When's your birthday?
A week from today?
are you going by yourself?
No, I'm going with my mom.
Oh, nice.
That'll be fun. I've
Yeah.
never been.
Staying at your aunt's condo?
Yep, staying at my old house. I say that like it was a long time, right? I'm staying at my old, where I lived when I lived there, yes. I'm
You
excited.
didn't even live there the whole time.
I did not. You're right. I moved out.
All right, so before we get too far into the conversations, because we've had a habit of doing this, we'll backtrack to how we know Christine, which is how I know Christine. Ricky and Christine just met. I still never call you Teeny. I think I'm like the only one who doesn't call you Teeny regularly.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll get used to it someday.
I don't know why. And it's not even it's literally because Christine, then the end of it's teen,
Teen E.
and then yeah.
Yeah.
That makes total sense,
I don't know.
and it's way easier.
But our origin story is pretty much the same as me and Ryan's, because met through the Pullman Domino's also.
Yep.
You worked at Domino's too?
I did. I worked at Domino's for a long time. Me and Matt met at the Pullman Domino's, and then we actually worked at. Did we ever work at a Seattle Domino's together, or were we just at the same franchise?
Are you serious?
We opened Wallingford together.
We opened a store. I mean, it was only for like a month, and then she left for another store. But
Nice.
Yeah.
So Ricky actually, there was discussions of him moving to Seattle and working with me and Ryan when we opened Jackson.
Really?
I actually lost my manager position because of it.
He's one of at least 5 people I know that worked as my assistant manager and went on to be a general manager. At least 5.
Yeah.
Wait, you worked at Domino's too?
Yeah, I worked at the Cedar one and around here.
A lot of my friends have worked at Domino's either because I met them at Domino's or because I hired them at Domino's.
Yeah.
I hired him. I don't know if I hired Blair or if he got hired after. Hook got hired after I left. I hired his brother's girlfriend at the time.
She ended up being my boss.
My friend's roommate, or maybe my friend's cousin and his cousin's roommate. Whatever.
That's funny.
All in Woolley.
Yeah, everybody I hired that was a friend did not turn out. They were just total fucking garbage. It was so bad.
It really depends. Sometimes you get some good ones. Like Daniel Miller, when I hired Daniel, Daniel was a solid employee. But
Daniel Miller's the greatest employee that's ever existed.
It's 100% the truth. Daniel Miller's probably the greatest employee that's ever existed in Domino's. Patrick, if you ask Patrick, he would agree with you to this day.
You guys didn't get to work with me in my prime though. I was a pretty solid 2-way guy. I could run the rush for you, or I could drive.
That's always key.
Still not Daniel though.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
No, Daniel, like he's a sprint everywhere.
I did a Saturday rush in Mount Vernon by myself, and like we won. We did rankings, and like we won that week.
Well, we had him basically as our only driver at the Jacksonville store in Seattle, like a lot.
Yeah.
All of our other drivers were Atrarian.
Oh, the war stories we could have.
Yeah. So we could go forever in Domino. We could do a whole series of podcasts on Domino's, but yeah. So we met at the Pullman Domino's. You were the one who basically started the game nights with people there, right?
Yep, I like playing games. So we would have people over to our apartment, I think, first. To me, and I lived with Daniel. We would have people over for board games and stuff. Everybody that worked at Domino's, and I think that's how I met. And actually, I wasn't even really good friends with you at first. I was friends with your ex.
Which she was the reason I didn't go to board game night for a long time. Also, I mentioned that on the other one. That's why I was like the last one who started going.
Why? Because she didn't want you to be there? What happened?
If you could hear how she would react if I mentioned you, Michelle, or Ashley's names in just Domino's stories,
what?
You wouldn't have gone either. I've told you that. She was jealous.
That's crazy.
And it's because her dad was not very faithful to her mom, so she had trust issues with that.
Gotcha.
Which she trusted me, but she couldn't stop herself from like hearing a female's name in a story. Like I would talk about Ryan and Claudio probably way more than anybody, but if I ever said Christine, Michelle, or Ashley in part of a story, it was like, why do you talk about them so much? But so eventually started going, and then yeah, you and Kelly became good friends because all your other friends had left Pullman by then.
Yep, still my friends now, but they had all. I actually moved back to Pullman the second time the summer after they all graduated and moved away from Pullman. So I'm great with timing in my life. That was one of the times that I was, solid timing.
Damn.
Anyway, I met
Had
Matt.
some good parties.
Yep, I met Matt. And
Did you go to school with Clay too?
Huh?
Did you go to school with Clay too?
Clay Thompson.
I think so, right? He was there when I was there.
Yeah, he was there. He was there for 2 years while I lived over there, but my first year I was at University of Idaho. And then my first year at Wazoo was his last year there.
Yeah, I remember watching him at the Coliseum.
Epic.
Yeah, I never did. It's probably one of my biggest regrets now. I never went to a Wazoo basketball game.
Yeah, it was more fun, honestly, because we didn't know at the time that Clay was going to be Clay.
Which is crazy because I told everyone in that Domino's, I was like, I know basketball. This guy's a 6'6" shooting guard, which doesn't exist in the NBA anymore. Like, yeah, I told people in that store, like, oh, he'll be a first round. I was like, he'll be a lottery pick. They're like, oh, we love Clay, but he's not really that good. It's like, no.
But then
Turns out
when you go back, like my freshman year was probably the year we went to the Sweet 16. So it was Kyle Weaver, Aaron Baines, Robbie Cowgill, and I think Aaron Baines is still, doesn't he play for?
Plays for the Celtics.
Yeah, he's on the Celtics, but he's always hurt.
So it's funny to look back because if you would ask us at the time, my freshman year, it's all these guys are going to go to the NBA because we were really good, and only a few of them did, maybe only one.
I was surprised Kyle Weaver didn't have a better NBA career. I thought he was a good enough defender to make up for not being great on offense. But
yeah, hearing the name, it's kind of surprising that
he disappeared pretty quick. He was like 2 or 3 years and out.
It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch those guys play.
And then they were terrible when Clay was there. But yeah, and then you and Daniel moved back to Seattle where you guys grew up a few months before I did.
Yep.
Where did you go to high school?
Went to Kennedy High School in Burien.
Burien?
It's a Catholic school.
Nice. I went to Catholic school.
I ended up me and Ryan lived right down the street from there.
That's cool.
Like I was like 6 blocks or something from, no, sorry, more than that. But yeah, I was right down from like Daniel and the school I was in Burien.
Yep. Small world.
And right down the street from us is where they found out these guys have been robbing all over Seattle.
Nice.
What?
Came home one day, it was a bunch of cops all over right down the street from me. It was like, oh, these are the guys who've been robbing people in northern Seattle. Like home invasion.
Because I knew where you lived in Burien, and I never wanted to say anything at the time, but it was not a very nice part of Burien. You probably know. So.
Yeah, there was cops in our parking lot of our apartment building all the time.
Yeah.
And then I sent out, after moving there, a pitiful Facebook post of I'm in Seattle now and have no friends. Something like that.
Forgot about that. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
The original Vig poster is.
No, it's something like, I was just like, hey, I live in Seattle now. If you're in Seattle, want to hang out, whatever, and let me know.
And we hadn't talked in a few months. It had been 6 or 7 months since we had actually like hung out or talked at all. And I saw it, and I think I commented on it, and I think I was still living in West Seattle, but I was going to play trivia in Kirkland.
That is not the first thing you invited me to.
It's not?
No, you invited me over when Liz and Lauren lived in your parents' apartment downstairs. You invited me over for a game night there.
Okay.
And that was like right when Nate started dating Lauren.
Okay.
So like he was there, and people were still like the story on him following you guys home. So 2 of the friends in that group are married now. Just bought a house. Nice. Congratulations, guys. You guys were out at a bar, and like Nate and his friends were out at a bar, and he ended up getting in the car with them when they went home. And they weren't even going home to like her house. They went home to the other Lauren's parents' house.
Parents' house. We literally went to our friend's parents' house, and this man followed Lauren into the cab. And she's getting in the cab, and he's just following her. And we were all kind of like, is this guy really just going to get in the back of this cab right now? And he just plopped his happy ass in the back of the cab like, oh, all my friends went home. And he literally slept on the couch of our friend's mom's house. And when Pam came downstairs in the morning, she saw this random man sleeping on her couch. And all of us, I was like mid-20s. That was actually the same night as Kate and Randy's engagement party.
I actually met Pam that way also. But I was invited. I was with everybody when they left also. But that was the next morning.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, so game night. And then, yeah, you guys started inviting me to Kirkland Juanita Pub. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't trivia yet. It was goldfish racing.
Yeah.
Goldfish racing.
Yep, it was really fun. They stopped doing it for, I don't know, like Goldfish Harm or something like that. But yeah, we would go and seriously race.
It was a cool bar, though.
Yeah, they cut a PVC pipe in half.
No, it's like a rain gutter.
Okay, so some sort of long
big section of like a 15-foot section of rain gutter. And they put like wood on the ends or whatever and fill it with water.
And then they dumped the goldfish in one end of it, and you had to blow with a straw behind the little fishy to get it to swim down to the other end of the apparent rain gutter. And the winner was the first person that could get their fish to cross the other end.
It was like a giant straw, like a 2-foot long straw.
It was ridiculous. It was really fun.
It was like a $5 entry, and it was a bracket.
That sounds pretty awesome.
And they'd have all the fish in cups, so you'd go and you're like,
You pick your guy.
fish.
Oh my god, I forgot that you'd have to pick your fish before you started. Like which goldfish looked the most competitive? Oh my gosh.
I'd always pick one that was like swimming around a bunch in there, and then always did terrible. I'd get the one that like, so normally you blow into the water, and they would swim away from where you're blowing. They're like trying to run from it. You're basically scaring them to the other side. I'd get fish that would literally turn and start swimming at the bubbles. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I never got close. I think Kyle's the only one who did. He won, right? Once.
I won at least once too. I think Duda won a few times too.
Damn. Yeah, it was terrible. But it's a cool bar. They had giant Jenga. They had beer pong tables too.
Nice.
So they would play it on the beer pong tables. But so we'd play beer pong beforehand, and then we started doing trivia there. And Christine and our buddy DJ ended up living in an apartment like a block over.
Mm-hmm.
So then after trivia, we'd just go to their apartment and play, which we should get Jackbox. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
Really
It's
fun.
an Xbox. Yeah, the Xbox has a bunch of trivia games and things, and you actually play them on your phone.
Oh, sweet.
So it pops up a code, and you just go on the website, and you put in the code, and you're in the game.
We should do that with our guests.
I don't know how that would work, but
We could do it.
write that down. We don't ever. We come up with.
Figure it out, Ricky. That's your job. Figure it out.
It's pretty entertaining though. We're usually drunk. Yeah, and then we just. I mean, because of you. I'm in that friend group now, or have been for a while. They get mad at me because there's been times where I was dating someone and didn't hang out often enough.
Oh, vague.
Well, it's not just times that he's dating someone. It's every time he's dating someone, he disappears for whatever amount of time he's dating them.
That's not true. I brought Charlene to
Motherfucker.
trivia and to their wedding.
Oh my god, you brought her to a wedding. We didn't really like her.
Like that How I Met Your Mother episode? Where Ted brings random skanks into all of Lily's pictures and she gets pissed off about it and calls them out.
I don't know. No, I mean it was one wedding that I wasn't.
Random skanks around us, yeah.
Yeah. Random skanks.
I got invited, kind of impromptu at trivia.
Yeah, that same goddamn complaint with me, you bastard.
You were in the same town. No.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Yeah, but no, it's been good. The camp. Actually, funny thing is, I think I hung out with the group more when you were in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, not more often, but like I actually started coming to like camping weekends and shit.
Yeah. I feel like I missed a whole lot when I was gone for just a year.
Camping weekends. Why don't we do a camping weekend down here? And
Wait,
you don't,
well, and
you don't like to intermingle your circle of friends, do you?
I know it's kind of.
it's too much effort. Why? Like,
Ricky, I feel like me and you should just hang out and actually not invite Matt, and then we can take a picture and send it to him and be like, "Look who's not invited now, asshole."
There we go.
it's just they plan
Look how
shit.
easy it would have been.
People plan shit, and I just go. Like, I don't know. But the last 2 Memorial weekends, we camped up in New Halem.
Nice.
They actually came down here, which terrible place to camp.
Yeah.
Also,
the
I
camping spots are bad.
Chelan's a good place to go.
Well, you were here for the first one, and then it was right before you went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So then, while she was in Hawaii, I went to Watershed, New Halem, Wenatchee camping.
Coog game.
Huh?
Coog game. You guys went
No,
to...
I didn't go while you were in Hawaii. I didn't go.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gone to Coup Weekend. I need to commit this year because I'm actually getting money back in my tax return, what I didn't expect.
All right. So yes.
Well, you
will
went
be-
last year and it was terrible, right?
Well, so okay, we can go into that now. Yeah. So this Cougars football season was amazing. It was a roller coaster.
Such optimism, and the future was looking so great for you guys.
Well, we had to start actually all the way at the beginning. So this is not a topical. It's not. We're going straight to Cougar football.
Shout out to Jared Wilder.
Do a little recap. Jared Wilder. So last year's football season started with a tragedy.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
So what was expected to be the incumbent quarterback committed suicide.
Rest in peace.
His family has a foundation. There's those flat stick pub bars, which I've mentioned from Seattle.
Yeah.
That's become the like Cougar bar, and they Helinski Foundation. They have stuff that they put in there to promote it, and like I think during Cougar football games, some amount of money from every beer goes toward it.
That's awesome.
It is.
And retraction from last episode, the newest flat stick pub does have food. We were talking about my friend who wants to open a brewery, and I was like, I don't know a brewery or like a bar that has food, games, and like is a brewery. Which I guess flat stick pubs is not a brewery.
No, it's not.
They're a tap house in essence. But so the one in South Lake Union has food. So I assume the one in Spokane will too, because they're opening one in Spokane.
You told me that, yeah.
Oh. But so yeah, the football season ended. They started with a tragedy, and then.
But I feel like that happened in. I should have looked this up. January or February. It was the beginning of the year. It was not the beginning of the football season.
No. Yeah.
It had happened, and then there was this period of mourning, and then there was this period of like, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? Because 2 football seasons ago was good. I mean, better than we have been notoriously. Yeah. I mean, Cougs, literally to Coug it is a thing, right? So
I didn't understand why you guys were expecting to be so bad. It seems like you've been consistent since Leach has been there.
But we had lost a bunch of people. We lost Falk, who was a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, we've been consistently getting better. We have not been consistently good. So we have been getting better with Leach, but we have not ever had a season like we did last season. But the beginning of last season was very unpredictable because after it happened, then we didn't really know what was going to happen.
No one knew who Minshew was. He was a transfer, 5th-year senior transfer. I hadn't heard his name before that happened. I still don't think I heard it until right before the first week.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, as Cougars, I think we get most nervous about the stupid out-of-conference game. Like, we played, San Jose State or something like that? Like, we play a Division II team every year in the beginning of the year. We lost to Eastern twice.
Eastern, yeah, seriously. And we play Eastern every year. So we usually, the beginning of the season, but this is true for every football team, they'll rotate their visiting or their like preseason games. But we play Eastern every single year. That one is stagnant. That one never changes.
Yeah, it's a way for them to get more, I don't know, people who don't normally see them play, and it's like a warm-up game.
It's supposed to be an easy win for us, but somehow we have managed to not always win.
Yeah, I think Leach has lost them twice.
Yes.
Yeah. But then we won our first few games, which were no big deal, and then we got into like playing some of our conference team, and we like beat Utah and Stanford, and it was like, oh crap. Mm-hmm. And then the Huskies lost to Oregon. Which affected our season in a way, which is weird. So Huskies lost to Oregon. All of a sudden, Oregon was ranked like 15. We had creeped into the rankings, I think, at like 25.
Yep.
And so college game day came to Pullman.
Finally.
Yep. This just happened to be the weekend that our group of friends decided 8 months prior to be Cougar football weekend. They go one weekend.
Yep.
Teeny was in Hawaii, so she didn't commit. I didn't commit because I'm poor and was trying to save money to move out and stuff. And so they ended up going for college game day weekend. My cousin went and got tickets. Jared, who you threw out there right away, got tickets. My sister, who goes to school in Spokane, Wazoo School of Pharmacy, got tickets, free tickets from a teacher.
Dub was there.
And, yeah, so her and my brother-in-law got to go for free. Doug Bighead?
No, Dub. Pacific Takes.
Oh, J-Dub. John Ordell. So one of our, a couple guys we went to high school with have a podcast that just Pac-12 football. And they're actually with Sports Nation. Got picked up by Sports Nation.
Jack's a writer for SB Nation.
I don't know if they make money off that or how well it is, but
they certainly get cool. Thousands of more downloads than we do.
Yeah. We have never hit 100 in one episode. But yeah, and then we beat Oregon. So then all of a sudden we were ranked like 15. Yeah. Huskies drop.
Wait, you missed the Cinderella story part of the college game day and Old Crimson playing.
Every week.
Oh, so Old Crimson has the longest standing record for being for being in College Game Day since what, 1980, 94 or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been in the background of every College Game Day for like ever.
I'm not a Cougs fan. It was very satisfying to see Corso put that head on.
It was the 200th weekend anniversary of Old Crimson flying in the background. Is the exact weekend that they came to Pullman. So it kind of came full circle. It was a good story.
Yeah, every year they're always like, "Oh, sorry, Wazoo, can't make it out." But this year they actually did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was after.
You guys get acknowledgement for showing up, but you never got the full treatment.
Yeah, and a lot of people. I mean, I hear them talk a lot about Cougar fans being one of the better like fan groups, especially for not being a successful, having a successful history.
At this point, the hosts actually look for Old Crimson. I feel like they'll point it out in game days. They'll actually kind of point to it in the background and say, "Oh, there she is again." And the whole time that they were there at game day, they mentioned a few times. There's a bunch of videos of the buses, the orange buses rolling into Pullman, and the welcome that they got, and the crowd the whole time. And they have said a few times that was their favorite place to do game day at, which is just pretty cool.
I mean, it's cool. It's a small town where like all there is campus.
Yeah, I've never even been.
Pretty much. We skipped over. So our friend group also does wine weekend in the Tri-Cities. That was where we were when we had lost to USC, which was bullshit. They called us for roughing the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then our guy, Minshew, gets hit by two guys in the helmet on the game, attempting winning drive and whatever. So yeah, at that point we had one loss. And then Apple Cup. You were the one who were like, we got to go to Apple Cup, right?
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
All of us that aren't Cougs fans.
So after missing game day, Teeny throws out, hey, we should go to Apple Cup. So I was like, all right, I have to now. So the way the season's going and missing game day. And so us, Lauren and Nate, who we mentioned earlier, and then other Lauren and Kyle went. Lauren and Kyle, not the ones that are married, both their parents live in the Tri-Cities. So we were able to stay the night there.
Nice.
And go to Apple Cup. And then the worst thing that could possibly happen for a Mike Leach football team happened. It was what was supposed to be showers and mixed snow became just a straight blizzard.
Whiteout conditions and our awesome seats that I somehow found. We were in this second row. I mean, we had really, really good seats. It was a total waste of money because we couldn't really see anything. We were freezing cold and we were being snowed on the whole time, and it was just crazy.
I could see okay because I wasn't drunk. But yeah, air raid offense made no adjustments to try to run the ball more. Minshew from like the first shotgun snap nearly fumbled it, or he did and picked it back. I mean, it was like clear it was gonna be hard to grip the ball, and yet they still tried to throw the ball 40 plus times.
Yeah.
Huskies got to play exactly to their strengths, which was defense and running.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard to watch. It was a hard way to end the season because it didn't feel like.
Well, hey! It was not how we ended the season.
You got a bowl game.
Yeah. It was because it was Apple. I mean, it's the rivalry, the Apple Cup, the Washington schools, but it was also to get the conference championship game.
The Rose Bowl, like I said, my friend Jared bought tickets to the Rose Bowl expecting to see the Cougars.
Yeah. Well, and it was like this season. So on top of all of it, sure, college. I mean, there's a rivalry, but this season was different. It really was, and it wasn't just. I wish that I can't. It would be silly to sit here and say like, oh, we would have won if it had not been snowing, because I've been a Coug fan long enough to know that it's never a guarantee that the Cougars are going to win.
I'll say that,
especially in the fucking Apple Cup.
After that conference championship game and the Rose Bowl, I think the Huskies made it clear they were not going to beat us on a nice weather day.
Yeah, it would have been it would have been a different game. I'm not going to say anything about the outcome, but it was disappointing to end the season when, if it had been different conditions, it would have been a different game. And that's, I mean, you should play to the conditions, and that's something that Mike Leach needs to obviously learn, and they should have adjusted their gameplay, but still a shitty way to end the season. And the season that we had, especially, it was a special season to be a Coug fan.
We still had the most wins in Cougar history. 11-2. 11 wins, first time ever.
Yep.
That's counting, Ryan Leaf teams when he was a Heisman winner, not Ryan Leaf, the NFL player who was a drug addict and a cocky piece of shit, which he will tell you. He does. He goes around and tells people all the time, actually.
He's reformed.
So they beat us, but at the end of the year, even though we played one less game, we end up with one more win. We beat 2 teams in conference that they lost to. And I don't know who would rather go get their ass kicked by Ohio State than win a bowl game against whoever we played, Iowa State.
The Urban Meyer revenge game, that was doomed from the start.
And if you watched the Huskies Rose Bowl game, they got beat worse than that score. They scored some garbage time points to make it look better. They got their ass kicked.
Huskies have been successful, but it's been embarrassing. Like whenever they're in the national title.
Yeah, when they got to the playoffs.
And they just got smoked.
Everyone expected. That was they got that bid when no one believed a Pac-12 team was actually good enough, but it was like, well, there's only one way to find out. Same with when Peterson was coaching Boise State.
Yeah.
And after 3 good years, they're like, okay, we got to put him in and find out. And same thing.
That Statue of Liberty play that they ran against Oklahoma, though, that's fucking beautiful.
I feel like Boise State was better than the Huskies have been with Peterson.
I think so, yeah.
And their quarterback, and he's gotten worse every year. Browning, he was
he was terrible.
He was a true freshman starter, and I feel like he's gotten worse every year. But
I have noticed that too.
But no, it was a great season. We're already getting pushed down the rankings for this year.
Nice.
Because we lost Minshew.
Because we always are, but that happens every single year.
Didn't you get another 5th-year starter?
So a 6th year.
Oh my god.
We got a 6th year transfer
I didn't actually
from Eastern.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear this.
Then join him.
Yeah, he had to petition for a 6th year of eligibility. He's already graduated college. He's done. He's literally just playing football in college. Like he has to be getting a job or something, right? He can't. I don't know, but yeah, they actually put out good quarterbacks because they have this happen a lot at Eastern, where their quarterbacks in their 4th or 5th or apparently 6th year transfer to a real school, a Division I school, and play another year. So, but we're returning more defensive starters than we did last year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. I mean, I hope it's gonna be a fun year. I feel like we say this every year.
So now our expectations are absurdly high, where last year they were absurdly low.
You guys are cougs. You know alcohol. It'll always be fun.
Yep, exactly.
There's always drinking. Yeah. All right. Changing topics. I gave an update on my new job in the updates section of the podcast, which is really just me slowly making the podcast about myself. But you started a new job.
I did. Very scary.
At a startup app.
Yes. So I am the 13th employee.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that low.
Yeah, I'm employee number 13. Well, and actually I think there's now 16 people on the team, but still very small. It's a company called Feast Fox. And it's a startup out of, well, lots of places. Our software engineering team is in Budapest, Hungary. Our test market and where the Stu is the head of operations, we have a few salespeople, and the operations analyst is out of Cape Town, South Africa. And there are 4 people in Seattle.
Damn, universal.
Yeah, seriously. I have a Skype call tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. because when we do an all hands meeting, we have to figure out a time that works for everybody, and everybody's around the globe. So I literally have to get up at 5 a.m. for a call tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning in 5.5 hours from when we're recording right now.
And you're sacrificing to be on the show. Wow.
I mean,
what a friend.
Yes, I get the friend award for tonight. No, I don't have to. I don't have to be presentable. It's a video. It's not a video call, so I just have to open my laptop and pretend like I'm paying attention. I hope they don't. They're not going to listen to this, but I hope they didn't hear that.
I've had those with jobs before, actually.
Yeah. I would always just go out and walk my dog and pretend that I was listening.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. So it's basically it's a dynamic pricing app for the restaurant industry. And what that means is dynamic pricing is this principle that applies in most other industries, really everywhere. So it's the reason that hotels are priced lower on Wednesdays versus Friday. It's the reason that when you book airline tickets, you pay less for flying at 4 a.m. versus 10 a.m. It's basically pricing for market demand. So it is about meeting convenience for consumers. So as a person, is it worth it for me to pay $300 less to fly at a time that's not convenient for myself? And there's always this fine line, right? So airlines have been doing this for such a long time that they understand how to price for maximum profitability to fill up other seats. Because if everything was priced the same, they would never fill up those planes that left in the middle of the night. So they've figured out a way, they figured out an algorithm to make it work and make it most profitable for them so that they're not losing any money on those tickets that are cheaper. And same thing with hotels. It's surge pricing and Uber. Actually, Uber literally got rid of the word surge pricing because everybody was pissed off about it. But I mean, the principle applies in most other industries. It's sort of like happy hour in restaurants, but that concept has never really been explored in the restaurant industry globally. And this is literally the first platform that has ever dug into and explored how feasible it is in the restaurant industry. So it's very exciting, but I'm a salesperson and I hate sales.
All right, and I feel like you didn't even explain what it does. So basically, your app.
That sounded very exciting. I don't know.
Yeah, but the app like basically offers people cheaper food at an earlier hour.
Exactly. So my job
outside of prime time.
So my job is to walk into restaurants and explain the concept in a short enough amount of time that they don't lose interest. But it basically means that anybody that has this app, they download the app, and if at 3 and 4 o'clock, you can get 40% off of the bill by eating at that time versus 7 or 8 o'clock, which is when people normally eat dinner and paying 100%. It's that value perception of, is it worth it for me to change my habits to eat at a different time because I'm going to pay less for that meal?
So it's not like Priceline when like hotels have empty rooms. Like, well, here, let us sell that room for you. You get a customer that you wouldn't have had.
I would say yes, that I would change my habits.
Exactly.
To get the better price.
You just eat lunch later. Sleep until 10, have breakfast at 11, and lunch at 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely catered to, there's definitely a sweet spot that we're trying to get to. So if it's only 5% difference, you're not going to change your habits. If you're only saving 5%, why are you going to eat at 4 o'clock versus 7 o'clock? So it's figuring out the best kind of value and the best percentages to apply it at different times so that the restaurants aren't losing any money. They're not losing, because if you priced too many things at too much of a discount, nobody would actually eat at the normal time. So it's figuring out that sweet spot for the restaurants themselves. And people can go on the app and it's a really, really neat platform. Our software engineers are incredibly talented. It takes your location, so it gives you the restaurants within your area down to the yard. It gives you the Google rating. You can go onto the platform. You can look and see what's around you, but you can also look and see the specific promotions that the restaurants are actually using to get people to walk in the door. And you have an option based on different promotions that restaurants are running to get people in the door during their slowest times. And the kickback I've had is really the biggest kickback I've had is that it's new in Seattle, but our test market is in Cape Town, South Africa. And we have 200 restaurant partners in South Africa and 10,000 users and social media followers. And it was basically, we went in with this hypothesis of this is something that's going to work, but we kind of had to test it out. It was overwhelmingly successful. Restaurants love it because they fill up tables when they would have no tables. So even at 30 or 40% off the bill, the only variable cost they're losing is food. The staff is there, tables are there, lights are on, building is open. They're there already. The only thing they're losing money on is food.
Yeah, so it's kind of like with Uber Eats. Like restaurants, there's no, you sign up for it, you set it up so people can order delivery from your restaurant. It's like you're not losing anything.
Yeah,
you
just gain customers.
Gain customers, and somebody else is doing the legwork.
Yeah, I ordered Little Caesars earlier. I wouldn't have gone if I didn't get it delivered.
As a server, I would think you'd want your restaurant to do it because you're probably going to get tipped pretty good.
Yeah.
From people who are getting cheaper food
and who are
it's actually
hit or miss
because they're gonna tip you on the amount that they're paying. They're not going to tip you on the normal amount.
I feel like though if I knew I'm saving 40%, I would add like an extra $2. Like I would.
You are a good human, and not everybody that eats out is a good human.
It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
It's because we're former Domino's employees and we know the struggle.
It's true. I think we probably all tip.
I'm that way too. I'm a good tipper. If you've worked in the industry, then you have more knowledge.
Actually, I remember now. You and Daniel would literally like compete on tipping. Like you guys would be hiding your tickets.
So weird.
And then see who tipped more. Like
That's
Yeah,
great.
we're weird.
yeah, it's from working in tips.
Yeah. But anyway,
No, it seems cool. And I mean, the name again, Feast Fox. Like, I definitely will download it so that if I'm going down to like a Mariners game,
Yeah, I'll
like the
download
game's
it.
at 7, I'm usually looking to get some food around like 5:30.
Yep.
We don't even need a We Blowing Up. All we got to do is cut the promo before that and then just run an ad for them.
She doesn't know what
Yep.
We Blowing Up is because she doesn't listen.
I don't blame you.
Anyway, it's a neat concept. It's hard to get people on board. I'm a salesperson and I've been struggling because more than just being a salesperson, I feel like people are already cold to me because I'm a salesperson. So if anybody is in the restaurant industry and a person walks in a blazer, which I try actually not to dress too nice. I've tried to be kind of in the middle.
Yeah, you don't want to intimidate people.
But it's not even intimidating. It's just I look like a salesperson and people don't want to spend the time to listen to what you're doing. So even though I'm not really walking in with like a pencil and saying, here, buy this pencil because it's better than this other pencil, it's getting past the point of actually having a conversation with somebody because I'm a salesperson. When I actually get to have a conversation with somebody, it's not only getting somebody to buy into the platform, it's an entirely new concept. So it's getting somebody to wrap their minds around the fact that this dynamic pricing works in restaurants and not just other industries. But it's a concept that has not been explored in restaurants, and so that has actually been the hardest part, is that it's not explored in restaurants, and it's brand new. So it's been hard, but I like it a lot. The company is awesome. The CEO is incredibly smart. I'm going to name drop here really quick because I can. Our biggest single investor, his name is Mike Maples. Do you know who Mike Maples is?
No. What?
Mike Maples he's a venture capitalist that's ranked in Forbes as the 12th best venture capitalist in the world. He is the first guy to invest $500,000 into Lyft, which went public last week for $15 billion.
Well, that I've heard of.
Yeah.
He invested $500,000 into Lyft 10 years ago. He invested $1 million into us.
Wow.
So we have some pretty significant players on board. He's our key advisor as well. So I feel like we're set up in a position to actually be successful. At this point, it's just kind of getting us off the ground that is the challenging part.
So this podcast interview could be really useful if we had a following.
We had
Yeah,
research.
it could.
I mean, I've worked in sales a little bit, hated it. The hardest part is definitely getting people to sit down and listen to you.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine. I didn't even like upselling.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to try to just establish like a relationship.
Yep, that's
And the
my-
first time you come in, not be coming in trying to sell.
Yep, that's my strategy because I've worked in restaurants for such a long time in lots of different capacities. Domino's was definitely my longest stint, but I have worked in other restaurants. I've been a server, I've been a bartender, I've been a busser, and I've been a general manager. So I can talk to you about your labor cost and your food cost and your operational difficulties in running a restaurant in Seattle. I can talk to you about all that. So my strategy really has been, hi, I just want to talk to you about what it's like to run a restaurant in Seattle. And I can kind of guide the conversation towards, oh, what do you do for marketing? Oh, what about your slow hours? Interesting. I have this thing, and I've been successful in good conversations, but I haven't signed any partners yet.
I maybe wouldn't start so many sentences with "oh."
I mean, I
That's
don't.
my advice.
I don't actually say that in real life. Thanks, Matt.
Oh, did you know? No. No, it sounds cool. Yeah, I haven't downloaded it yet. Probably should do that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay,
in Seattle.
I haven't listened to an episode of the podcast yet, so I mean, we're even.
But yeah, we're going to the Mariners game on the 16th, so I'll have to download it before that and see if there's any on there yet.
Lodge, I'm in the middle of not negotiating, but the supervisor, the regional manager of the lodge, I've been back and forth with talking to. So.
Oh, I like the lodge.
Yeah. Yep.
They were right down the street from us at when I was at Capital One.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they took us for lunch there a couple times.
Yeah. The GM at that place, he's awesome. His name is Joey. When I walked in the first time to have a conversation with him, Because I don't expect to have like a pitch type conversation the very first time I talk to you. I expect like 5 or 10 minutes. And then if you're curious about it and if I've explained it well enough, you'll be interested and you'll kind of keep engaged in the conversation. And we ended up talking for an hour about the concept itself and the platform. So the lodge is really one of my biggest leads right now. I hope that they sign because I think it'll be good for them.
No, yeah, that's awesome.
Their business swings significantly. I didn't realize this. They do. Well, he told me, so I can tell you. They do like 20,000, 25,000 during Seahawks games, and like 600 during non-game days.
Well, so Ricky, this place is like a block down from the stadium.
Yeah.
It's like that Occidental that runs by like runs like from Safeco like along CenturyLink.
The one that they want to.
So at the end of that, you take a right, and it's just basically around the corner. But which reminds me, so when I was in Seattle working for you at the catering company, and I kept looking up, trying to figure out a bar that used to go to at Capital One. I couldn't remember the name. The reason I couldn't find it online, they closed. It was FX McRory's.
Oh.
Which is right there, pretty much across the street from the lodge, like on the same side, but like they closed. Like I don't know, this place seemed super like successful. Hey Matt,
Getting a restaurant in Seattle is really hard.
our
No.
our drop in from Ricky's brother Matt that happens not every other podcast.
Yep.
Hi, stranger.
We got a guest on
I
the
mean, I
plane.
can after. Oh shit. And I didn't bring my. Never mind. Yeah. FX McRory's. That's where we used to go from Capital One all the time for happy hour because they were right there. They had like the advertising, most whiskey things, whatever.
He's got 20 minutes.
Um,
FX Fishwaries, is that what you said?
yeah, that's
I've
where I
only gone
watched
in
the
Seattle
World
twice.
Series between the Indians and the Cubs.
Been to the place that's right by the bubblegum wall. That
Oh,
little
yeah.
bar right there.
Well, there's a few, but yeah,
Yeah,
over in Pike Place.
Yeah. That's pretty much the only place I've been to in Seattle.
Well, we'll have to. Hopefully, Lori's
Really?
down here early enough on the 16th.
Yeah.
Oh my
And we
gosh.
can wander around. All right. Well, this seems like a good time for what Ricky was talking about earlier. We blowing up.
Should we actually just do an ad for her company?
I mean, she basically did. We can do that though. We'll do one. So we blowing up is for those who haven't listened to the podcast, as in our guest. We're clearly really good at this. This is what I say like every time. We're clearly really good at this. So eventually, we're gonna have people beating down our door to sponsor us or to get their.
Their ads read.
Yeah. So we do fake sponsors usually, but we'll do one for Feastbox. Why not?
Cool.
We just do a fake skit basically.
Beautiful.
Sometimes I make things up. Like, never mind.
I like not being able to.
Ricky knew exactly what I was referring to. Hopefully, the people who listen know that was
Not made up.
only half true.
It's totally true.
But so we'll go to this break, and then when we get back is our other reoccurring segment, Fan or Phony.
Bum, bum, bum.
And we're back. Yeah, we recorded and later and edited in. So we're back
It was really good, too.
with Teeny. Yeah, it was great. Go to Feastbox. Go to Feastbox. Download the app for Feastbox.
Yep.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
And
But
if
no,
you're a restaurant partner, use Feastbox.
use Feastbox.
Yep.
On Hawaii, use Feastbox.
Do you guys have like a slogan for your company or anything?
Oh yeah, is there a slogan?
I'll make one. The dynamic pricing tool, the dynamic pricing marketplace for restaurants. There you go. Bam.
Okay. You might want to work on that. You use
Okay.
dynamic a lot now.
You gotta listen to the episode. You don't listen to our show either.
We got
And
Matt
you listen to
ask
like
us.
18 hours of podcast a day.
But yeah, Fan or Phony, I originally named How Well Do You Know the Things That You Claim to Be a Fan of?
Okay.
Fan or Phony is much better.
I know, but I really like saying the long version. But yeah, so you already did trivia tonight, but we're going to make you do more trivia. Harry
Okay.
Potter trivia.
Perfect. Bring it on.
because I know one of your favorite things to do is watch the movies. I think these are basically based off the movies. So these are directly off of Pottermore. Quizzes from Pottermore website.
Okay.
What house are you?
Oh man, I'm nervous.
Have you taken the Pottermore quiz to sort into a house?
No, I have
Me
not.
either.
Really? Well, what house would you proclaim yourself to be in?
I mean,
See, we could have done the house quiz, Vic.
we could do the. I mean, we could always do that, but the sorting.
Vic, you're definitely what's that? Slytherin. You're a
Slytherin?
Weasley, you're a Weasley little guy.
I think he's a
The
Hufflepuff.
Weasleys are in Gryffindor.
I think he's a Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff? No, he's not nice enough to be in Hufflepuff.
What's the one where they do logic quizzes? Is that Ravenclaw?
Yeah.
I'll go Ravenclaw.
I could see Ravenclaw. Yeah.
They ask
Kinda
weird philosophical questions. I like to get philosophical.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll alternate asking you questions. We'll give you the answer. You give us the question. Jeopardy style.
Hey.
Wait,
I'm
really?
joking. I'm joking. No,
Come
Oh.
with us today.
that would make.
I
that'd be
also watched
impossible.
Jeopardy an embarrassing amount, so
That's
could
true. I watched it. So I stayed at her place when I worked at the catering company in December and watched Jeopardy with her and her family.
You brought this up. I
Yes.
remember. I love watching
Did
Jeopardy.
I bring it up on the podcast?
It's a very rewatchable show. You wouldn't think it is, but if it's an episode you haven't seen,
Well, and they record it, so they watch like 3 or 4 episodes in a row.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Should be a rules.
I'm a total dork, but yes, we record Jeopardy at the Smithberg house.
So you're like Rosie Perez and White Man Can't Jump.
Oh yeah, she got on the show in that movie.
What?
You've never seen that movie, have you?
No,
White Men Can't Jump.
no.
Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
Woody Harrelson's a
Rosie
hustler,
Perez?
a basketball hustler, and his girlfriend's big dream is to get on Jeopardy.
And she does, and she wins.
That's awesome.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Okay.
We'll alternate asking you questions. We're not actually keeping score or anything.
Okay.
I was going to jokingly ask you what the Sorting Hat's real name is, but that's not a real thing.
I was like, it's
What's the Sorting Hat's name?
The internet.
All right, you want to go first, Ricky?
All right. What does Harry Potter get as an anonymous Christmas present in The Sorcerer's Stone?
the cloak of invisibility.
Correct.
I translated these two. On Pottermore, they use Philosopher's Stone for everything.
Okay.
And there was a few other things where they said weird things. Instead of sweater, they said like jumper.
Oh,
And we got to give you the ceremonial.
Oh yeah, Ricky's got sound effects. Could you hear that?
no, not really. Oh, yep. Now I can.
All right. For some reason, a lot of the questions on the quiz thing online were Christmas present related. I'm not even joking.
Okay. God.
So many of them were like, what did people give each other for Christmas? So the next question is, what does Hermione give to Creature as a Christmas present?
Oh God.
And this isn't fair totally to you at all, because when you do it online, it's multiple choice. I'm not giving you multiple choice.
I feel like it's. Is it a hat?
No, Creature's not Dobby. That would free him. You can't do that.
Is it a feather?
Feather?
For some reason, I had feather in my mind.
a
I don't
quilt.
think it's a what?
A quilt.
Oh.
Give him a patchwork quilt.
Okay.
Have you ever referred to a feather as a bird leaf?
No, but now I'm going to.
All right. In Chamber of Secrets, what is the name of the book that Ron gives Harry for Christmas?
Are you kidding me? Another Christmas present?
I told you a lot of them were Christmas related.
Um,
Well, they had Christmas in every single book. They never skipped like what they got for Christmas.
Christmas is big in England, apparently.
Later, you're gonna ask. I think it's gonna ask you what Hagrid got him for Christmas.
Yep.
the name of the book.
Can
Is
you,
it a
for like
book about-
half credit, can you give like the subject
Is
of the
it,
book?
is it a book about Quidditch?
Yep.
So is it
I don't remember.
the I don't remember what it's called, but I remember it was about Quidditch and their favorite Quidditch team.
Yeah, I figured you'd
We'll
get
give
the
you the
Quidditch
point for that.
part. No, a point, half point. Come on, we're not even keeping track anyway. What was it, Ricky?
Flying with the Cannons.
Okay.
because Ron's favorite team was is it the Chudley? I'm looking at Ricky. And Chudley Cannons or something like that.
I've read the first book and seen the first movie, and that's
Sounds
it.
familiar.
Oh my
I hate
god.
the movies. All right. In the Sorcerer's Stone, what made Ron's sweater different than Fred, George, and Percy's? Other than color. Because they're all different colors. It's not fair.
His sweater? What made his sweater?
Yeah. So the sweater his mom makes them all for Christmas. What's different about Ron's than Fred, George, and Percy's?
Are you sure that it wasn't their dress robes?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you sure, or are you sure by what you read?
No, I am sure, because the dress robe... yeah. No, when you hear the answer, you'll be like, oh, yeah. I thought you'd get this one. Think more Fred and George than Percy. Because they're twins.
Fred and George, were they?
Percy Jackson?
I don't know. Did they have like their initial on it or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, the first letter of their name on them. All of them.
I thought that was too easy.
Except Ron.
That deserves a...
That's why I said Fred and George. So Fred and George, they,
No, I knew that. I just thought I thought that was too easy of an answer. But okay, they had their initials on them.
It's funny, I say I read the first book, but I never actually did. I did a book report on it, and I just freestyled it and made people laugh. And
it's not even the only question about the sweater that Ron gets from his mom.
Oh my gosh.
Look, I went on Pottermore. I didn't get to choose. I could have made up my own, I guess. But
Does that say creature?
Yeah, creature. Oh, it's another creature question.
Okay, what thoughtful present does Creature send to Harry at Christmas? We're going to have to hold on to this podcast for another couple of months and release it.
There's a lot of quizzes on Pottermore. One of them may have specifically been about Christmas questions. It didn't say Christmas on the quiz, but...
I think you didn't do enough of a good job at finding one that wasn't about Christmas presents, but I'll keep trying. What did Creature give Harry? I remember it being something gross.
Yep. Nailed that part.
Yep. Half point for that.
It's like a dead animal or something like that.
Kinda.
It's what forms on dead animals.
Oh yeah.
Is it bird leaves?
Point for using bird leaf.
Callback. Good callback.
Form is it a
no? What crawls over dead things?
Maggot?
From
yeah.
Okay. He gave him a maggot?
In what way is that thoughtful?
A package of maggots? It's not. Creature hates them.
But it says thoughtful.
It was supposed to be thoughtful in
it's
quotations.
It isn't.
Yeah. Creature hated him. Yeah. Okay.
He was Creature's master. He later came to love him. Or at least like him. I don't know. All right. From the Fred and George quiz. Who took Angelina to the Yule Ball? Fred or George?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I was really confident. I was really confident in this quiz because I got the Cloak of Invisibility right.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
How harsh in your quiz buzz.
No, I don't know.
And that was from the same quiz as oh no, that was Christmas related too. Never mind. Now that I think about it, that whole quiz was Christmas related. But it didn't say that on the title.
You could have read the questions and figured it out, though. But I'll keep going.
He wrote them down and he didn't figure it
out. George.
No, it was Fred.
Oh, damn.
But it's only now. Ricky's the only one who has questions from that anyway. The rest of mine are from the Fred and George quiz.
Mine are all from Christmas.
But they're not all like Fred or George.
Okay.
All right. So, what color is the jumper that Mrs. Weasley gives to Ron?
Oh yeah. So see, it said jumper. Later, I changed it to sweater. So what color is the sweater that Ms. Weasley makes for Ron?
Isn't it like a burgundy?
Ooh, that's kind of close.
Isn't it like red and?
I'll give you a hint. Adam Levine.
Oh, maroon. Maroon and burgundy are the same color.
That's what I said. We said close.
Yeah, maroon and burgundy are the same color. Okay, got it right. Nailed it.
On the online one, they give the multiple choice, right? And they put for maroon, they put in next to it. Next to it, they put in parentheses again. It was like, obviously that's the right answer then. It was the only one they put that on.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, son of a bitch! I forgot to do sad trombone.
But yeah, that's what you were
That's
supposed to
actually a
get when you got
better
them wrong. This is a tough one, I think. What broomstick do Fred and George use playing Quidditch?
Did you just say Quidditch?
He definitely did.
I mean Quidditch?
Quidditch?
Quidditch.
Quidditch?
Quidditch?
That's like Stewie pronouncing Cool Whip.
Whip? 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 Whip?
Well, in Quidditch, they flew.
What makes your pronunciation more right than mine?
It's the
Because
right.
you completely
that's
stressed
right.
on the second part.
Quidditch.
Matt,
It's a made-up word. Why do you get to choose the correct
Because
pronunciation?
that's how
Made up word 20 years ago. Now it's a
That's how
goddamn
it's
sport.
pronounced. That's just how it's pronounced.
People do play it for real. They have actual tournaments.
I know.
So Harry's broomstick is the Nimbus 3000.
So he starts with the Nimbus 2000.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Gets a firebolt.
Nimbus, I would have known that.
I don't. I get. So the other two, if I give you the other two that where it came up on the multiple choice, I'm basically giving you the answer.
Yeah, give me the two that came on the multiple choice because I want to know.
Well, it was those. It was the Nimbus 2000, a firebolt, clean sweep 5, and clean sweep 7.
I'm gonna go with clean sweep 5.
Yes.
Okay.
So the quiz is way easier when you get multiple choice. I got everything right. I had to answer it.
Thank you.
I had to answer questions to get the next question. So.
And what does Ron give Dobby for Christmas?
My God, again with the Christmas.
He actually gave him 2 things. I mean, what does Dobby love more than everything?
Mittens and a hat or socks?
One is right, yes.
What do you choose? Yeah, socks. No mitts and hat.
Was socks right?
Yep.
Yeah, Socks was right.
Socks is his favorite thing in the world.
And a hat, a beanie.
No, he shrunk down his sweater and gave it to him.
Oh,
Because he hates his mom's sweaters.
that's so sweet. I forgot about that.
All right, this one you better get right. I had to do a little thinking, but it's pretty easy to deduce.
Okay.
In which book did Fred and George give Harry the Marauder's map?
Oh, I feel like they had it in the Prisoner of Azkaban. Did they have it in Chamber of Secrets?
I mean, think about what's the first thing he uses it for.
I can't remember.
Oh, I might just know Harry Potter better than you.
I think you do. But I'm gonna go with Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, that's right. The first thing he does with it, he uses it to go into Hogsmeade.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was my thought. Was like, oh, so it was the first thing he did was Hogsmeade, and that's year 3.
Yeah, because the Dursleys wouldn't sign
His thing, yeah. So he couldn't go in.
Yeah. I actually didn't even think about Hogsmeade. I was literally thinking about him watching them in the tree. I was actually picturing the part of the book where he's following them on the map and he sees Peter Pettigrew on the map in the tree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. I got it right.
What did the gold chain that Lavender bought Ron for Christmas say?
Oh. So dumb. I would never get this right.
Oh my God. I don't think it was his name.
No.
And
that was a couple of the multiple choice options were like Wan and
yeah.
My Ronnie or something like that.
And I don't think it was Lavender's name.
Nope.
Like Muffin or something like that.
Close.
It's pretty close. It was basically a nickname.
Oh.
We're starting to say it. Say that again. Sorry, we cut you off.
Sweetheart? Sweet pea?
Oh, you stop guessing. Yeah, my sweetheart. Yeah.
Okay.
My sweetheart. So that's the one thing I've noticed about the Skype is it only you'll go literally it will mute your mic if like we start talking.
Oh, okay.
And I think vice versa too.
Oh, okay.
And the last one. Who had the misfortune of sampling one of Fred and George's Canary Creams?
Was it Ron?
It was not Ron. My thought was what's his face Dursley, the son.
Dudley,
but it wasn't Dudley either. Because remember they dropped a treat when they came and got Harry in that one book.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't that treat. It was Neville Longbottom.
Oh, okay. I don't know that I would have guessed him.
Yeah, it was easier to guess when you had multiple choice.
Yep.
And Dudley wasn't even an option.
That was it?
Yeah, I mean, there's more, but that was all the ones I grabbed.
A Fred and George quiz and a Christmas quiz.
I don't know why that was Christmas. Like,
That's funny.
there's the film binge quiz, but I didn't like the first. Some of the questions, like they asked who directed the Sorcerer's Stone, or they call it the Philosopher's Stone.
I don't know any of those answers.
That one turned out to be Chris Columbus.
Mm.
Do you know the very first line of the film? Philosopher's Stone? Or
No.
Sorcerer's Stone?
No.
So here's the multiple choice options.
Okay.
We're perfectly normal, thank you very much. Somebody's left something at the door, dear. I should have known that you would be here. Or good evening, Professor Dumbledore. Are the rumors true, Albus? I just got it right, by the way.
I think it was the second one.
Somebody's left something at the door, dear?
No, I'm trying to picture how the movie even started.
It actually starts very accurate to the book, which I like.
Isn't it Harry I don't think it's the Muggle, I think it's the Muggle world. I don't think that it's the Wizarding world.
Yeah, it's the Muggle world.
So I don't think that it's anything with wizards. So what was the first option?
We're perfectly normal, thank you very much.
I think that's what it was.
No.
Oh.
I should have known that you'd be here. It's them dropping him off at their door as a baby.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
McGonagall, like the whole day, well,
Yeah,
in the movies. Yeah. So in the book, you get the Dursleys noticing that McGonagall as a cat is just sitting on their wall.
Yep.
And stuff like that. But in the movie, the first thing that anyone says is Dumbledore walks up and he sees McGonagall as a cat. And before she even turns into a human, he's like, I should have known that you'd be here.
Yep. Okay.
So many of these movie ones, though, are just kind of like dumb stuff. What color is the sock that Dobby gets at the end of Chamber of Secrets? Like, who cares?
Blue with a white stripe.
It was gray. I already got it right. Good guess, though, Ricky. You didn't even get the multiple choice. In the Chamber of Secrets book, Miss Weasley magically fixes Harry's broken glasses. Who repairs them in Diagon Alley in the film?
Hermione.
I'm pretty sure you're right. And yep, it was Hermione. This is why I didn't do the movie one, though, because I got through like 3 of them. They were all dumb, like director. Like, you had to get the multiple choice options for most of them, and I didn't want to read all those. But
those were harder. The questions that we do, we've done or Mark has done a Harry Potter trivia round at where we go play trivia on Thursdays, and they're super, super simple questions.
Well, he does most of his stuff like off his own knowledge.
Yeah. He makes the questions up himself.
So
if I find a trivia night down here, you guys would come down for it?
Of course.
Sick.
You have to meet the mysterious Cedar Woolley friends that don't exist.
They don't.
I'm the only one.
Well, no, none of them hang out, so. I don't know, they're married. Well,
I'm Ricky, Kyle, and Corey.
Our married friends don't really do a lot.
Wait, Matt, most of our group is married at this point too.
Yeah, but they actually go out and do shit because they live in Seattle.
Well, we don't really. I mean, the go out and do shit is literally gathering at a bar in Kirkland and playing trivia. We don't. I guess last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago we went out for LP's birthday, but I mean that's rare that we spend that much time and do something so extravagant like that.
Yeah, most of our hanging out is like over here. It's like UFC nights. Like Hook and Liz, literally, Liz says after 6 is too late.
That's kind
although she breaks that all the time, but no, they've literally been like, hey. After 6 is like chill time. I think that's what it is. But no, we do stuff. Hook. I mean, our friend Corey just got back from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I don't know, small town. No, we should probably find somewhere like in Marysville or something, somewhat in between. We could probably find a trivia night. We did one impromptu.
How far away is Edmonds from you guys?
It's over an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Yeah.
So
we could meet.
Literally, it's 20 minutes from you.
That's not true. Edmonds is farther than that.
It is true. That friend Whitney, who I hung out with when I stayed there, lives in Edmonds. I've driven there from West Seattle, and I've driven there from Cedar Woolley.
Okay, fine.
It was like an hour 10 from here and like 25 minutes from West Seattle.
Yeah, you know better than I do what would be halfway. We can even go more than halfway.
I know. We did an impromptu one like a year ago. We were just like, we're at a bar down here watching
basketball.
The NBA playoffs were on. So I was like, hey, you guys want to come out and get food and watch basketball? And then they started trivia. And so we just did it and got second. No, we got second.
Well, you guys had done a terrible first round. Then I showed up for the second and completely saved you.
I mean, it's true we did terrible in the first round and then came back and won, came back and got second. But I don't really know how much you had to do with it.
It depends on the categories and depends on who's there, because there was a category tonight that was presidents. And if Kyle hadn't been there, I mean, it was me and LP.
Yeah, Kyle's a teacher.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he's a big history guy too, right?
Yeah, he's a history teacher. That's what he yeah. So,
explains why he always knows so much about history.
Yeah. So we got most of that round. Right. But then for boy bands, me and LP got all of them. So
who's your favorite boy band?
I mean, I've got to go with NSYNC.
Thank God. Because if you were Backstreet Boys, I would have had to end the call.
Can you include the Jackson 5?
Jackson 5 is...
I guess they were the OGs, huh?
They were all boys.
Jackson 5 was in there. New Kids on the Block
in that?
ABC.
There were
New Kids on the Block. Pretty sweet.
Oh, NKOB? Hell yeah. Growing up, they're the shit.
The groups tonight were Jackson 5, Backstreet Boys was one of them, NSYNC, Boys to Men, New Kids on the Block. Yeah.
Hey, we had someone talking to us in the background too.
Yeah.
It's great.
No LFO?
So the trivia that we do down there, it's this one guy, Mark, started it. Was it Beat the Geek trivia? So he actually does it at like, God, is it like a dozen bars now?
Yeah, he has 12 trivia hosts that work for him now.
That's badass.
But yeah, it's a full 5 rounds. Like it's legit trivia. I mean, the one we did was like 40 questions, I guess.
It was pretty big. It
wasn't bad, but it was like 2 rounds of like 20 questions each, which it's cool doing the 5 different categories.
And there's always a picture round, and there's always a music round. It's good.
Way back in the day, we used to always go to Longhorn every week. I don't know if you were here for that. You might have been out of
I did it like once or twice because someone was reminding me about it. I didn't really remember. So apparently we like won once when I was there.
We did. That was the only time we won.
Every once in a while I contribute.
We never spent the money.
Did you spend the money at the bullpen?
Yeah.
Because you got the $10 gift card.
That on 4th of July, remember?
Is that when you spent
drinks.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, nice. I didn't even I forgot. I don't know. Any other things you'd want to bring up or talk about? I always ask people if they want to talk about like Trump or religion or Obama or
Trump or Obama? Go.
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough
Just
time
ask
to
people
talk.
if they want to talk about things I know they won't talk about.
Yeah, we definitely don't have time to talk about that. So I'm gonna pass. Hard pass on that.
No, I don't know if everyone wants to talk about anything controversial.
I mean,
No, let's talk
I
about
would
it.
love to talk about the clusterfuck that is our president, but we don't have enough time.
I don't really know enough about it other than that I hate him.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I actually ended up talking to somebody in the lunchroom about it today. They said something about him. He's like, I don't really care who's president. And then said something about his company. He's like, yeah, well, I mean, he ran 4 companies bankrupt. He's like, well, what about all his successful ones? I was like, well, the problem is he runs the ones bankrupt because it's a corporation and it's separate. So he basically bleeds all the money into his own accounts. And then when it has no more, it go bankrupt. It's like, but with a country, you can't do that. You run the debt up. There's no one to file bankruptcy to. Our debt's just 15 trillion, and then he's out.
Yeah.
Like, what if he gets elected again? I was like, well, then after that, he'll be out either way.
Yeah.
It'll be even worse.
And now he's going to live in a world where now he made the tax laws to where corporations and CEOs
Did it himself.
don't. And the guy's like, yeah, but I got a lot of money back on my taxes, like for 3 years, and then our tax rate starts going back up.
Mm-hmm.
The corporation's tax rates don't start going back up.
Son of a bitch.
Do you know a lot about it? I just can't get past okay, so beyond all of the really deep level stuff that he's doing to our economy and stuff, he is actually so stupid that I can't stand to listen to him. I was watching the news the other day, and he was talking about wind power and solar power, and it wasn't going to work because it wasn't windy all the time.
Because he has money invested in coal.
I'm not kidding. He's
crazy.
literally talking about how wind power won't work because it doesn't blow all the time. And quote, I know a lot about wind and it doesn't blow all the time, and that's not going to work. And solar panels don't work because it's not sunny all the time. So
well, I think you had posted after the forest fires in California when he blamed what
Oh
do you
my
want to do?
God.
Sweep the
Finland?
yeah,
when he cited Finland?
sweep the forest.
Sweep the forest, and then there would
He's
be
like,
forest
this is what they do in Finland. They're very good.
Yes.
And then some guy from Finland responded.
No,
it's like
not just some guy. It was an entire culture of mocking Trump and sweeping the forest, and them literally it was so many videos of people out in Finland with rakes in their hands sweeping their yard. I'm like, yep, this is how we keep forest fires down. We're raking the leaves.
oh fuck.
I mean, has there ever, not that we're the best sources of this question as is, but has there ever been anyone in the history of the world who can say things like this and they just don't go, no one reacts anymore because he said so many things that now there's no time to react to something he says because by the time you do, he's already said something else that's like, what? And everyone's just numb to it at this point.
Pretty much.
It's truly, truly mind-blowing to me that there are people that still follow him and listen to him and take what he says as truth and fact too. Is the
actual knowledge.
Oh, I know a lot about wind because I go
look at my toupee. I keep it on my head.
It is truly not logical that there are people that will listen to him and think it is fact, and I can't comprehend. I can't comprehend it. I don't get it.
I mean, if nothing else, he's shown us how divided the country really is on a lot of stuff, which maybe isn't bad. It's one of those things where it's
holes in the structure of the government that a man with absolutely no political history at all and no any kind of experience was elected president. That's a problem. That's.
Well, I guess Reagan got some experience before, right? But he was
a former, wasn't
he? Yeah, I think he was, but he was a former TV actor.
Yeah.
But at least he was an actor. He had to learn scripts.
That's true.
Trump did reality TV. He just said you're fired.
Wasn't even good reality TV.
No, but yeah, it's interesting times. Interesting times for sure.
Yep. That's what I say, is that it's going to be interesting to look back in 10, 15 years and to talk about the specific stage and what actually happens. It'll be really interesting to look back and see what changes.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how we look back on this as a country. And if his supporters come around, or if
they magnify, that would be, I can't even imagine that.
I guess I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. History is written by the victors.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Not enough time in the night to talk about Trump.
Nope. But yeah, I'll have to slowly get people from the Seattle friend group on. Actually, Nate would be interesting. He's got a lot of weird hobbies.
He does. He's building a rocket ship right now. If you want to ask.
That's what I heard. He got into model rockets. So it's like, it's a lot easier to have people on who you know certain interests, because people are not very forthcoming. Like I just asked you, like anything else you want to talk about? You said no, and that's literally what everyone says. Anytime we're like, anything you would like to talk about, like on the show, or anything like that, we could get into. I don't know, whatever you guys want. So
I mean,
it tough.
I'm pretty boring. I like calligraphy.
I mean, it's just everybody is kind of like, it's your show. We'll talk about whatever you want. Like, well,
our show is centered around our guests.
Yeah. So it definitely makes it easier when we know interest. But no, I mean, it'd be fun to get everyone on the group eventually. And we need to start doing more videos too. We got to start getting our YouTube subscribers up. We have like 11.
Not bad.
We need 1,000 to start making money.
Yeah, we're only 900 short.
900, like 990.
Leaving you guys.
I really thought we'd get more support from people on Facebook. Like, it's just subscribing. Like, it's push a button.
Facebook is a dead zone. Nobody clicks links.
But no, it's fun. Thanks for coming on. I mean, unless you got something else that comes up.
Very nice to meet you.
All of a sudden right now.
It's very nice to I still don't think that you exist in real life. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna think that you exist in real life until I meet you in person.
This is green screen.
You caught Ricky at a good time too. This podcast has been great for kind of both of us, of like opening up and shit. This is way more than Ricky talks to someone he doesn't know normally.
If we were at a bar and we were hanging out, you wouldn't hear a word from me.
Yeah, if you met him in real life, it would be different. And early on in the podcast, he wasn't talking near as much. He's more he was more color commentary. With you, he was like throwing out questions. I was like, sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. See, I still don't think that he's a real human yet. So we'll have to see.
A real human? Like, come on. It's one thing to say you don't know if he's like really my friend. He's clearly a real human. Like,
You're Aladdin and I'm the genie.
I didn't invent a robot, like an animatronic fucking robot.
You're just saving your third wish.
I would have way more episodes out if he was a robot and I, didn't have a job.
Well, we'll see if this actually happens when you somehow merge your Seattle friends and your Wooly friends.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
There's about 3 of us that go out of the county.
No, yeah, we could. Like I said, so oh yeah, you're gonna be in Hawaii 16th. I definitely want to come to more Mariners games this year, especially now that I have a job where I only work literally half the days every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be able to go to some weeknight games.
I love going to Mariners games. I'm always down to go to a Mariners game.
Who's your all-time favorite Mariner?
Ooh, good question. Jay Buhner.
Nice.
Do you
get
want
a lot of love for Edgar on the show, but none for Jay.
No, but Jared put Jay on his pantheon.
That's true.
Of Mariners. So when Ichiro retired, our friend Jared Johnson, who does a podcast called Rain City Sports.
Shout out.
And we're kind of doing a network thing, whatever. So yeah, Northern State Podcasting Network. So he asked us about where we would put Ichiro on the pantheon, or asked me, I guess. He didn't even ask Ricky.
I'm not really a Seattle guy.
Yeah, Ricky's not a Seattle sports fan. He's from California and roots for Yankees and Cowboys. It doesn't make sense.
I have reasons.
Yeah, we've been through it all. But so he asked us, the pantheon of Mariners, where we put Ichiro. I had Ichiro 3. He had Ichiro.
I had Ichiro 4 behind Unit.
I think he had Ichiro 4 behind Griffey, Edgar, and Buhner. And he had Buhner up there. Which, look, if you're going to say most loved, yeah, Buhner was a fan favorite.
You never lived.
I don't know that I would say he's most loved. I think
not most, but I mean he's up there.
The Shave Your Head nights. You remember Shave Your Head night at the Mariners game? So many people would be.
He was up there. He was a fan favorite. Even Dan Wilson.
Oh, Dan Wilson was a fucking fan.
Yeah, but I mean, most popular are Edgar and Griffey.
Yeah.
Edgar and yeah.
I'm saying he was up there. Like,
Yes. Oh yeah. But
if you're
he
just talking
was
most
my
loved,
favorite.
Buhner probably gets in the top 5.
There's a lineup because Cora is very fondly remembered around here.
Joey Cora, yeah. His
So,
brother's got a
but-
ring. Cowboys. I mean, the Red Sox.
But I played. So I've met Jay Buhner a few times, but I was too like starstruck to actually say anything to him. When I was playing select fast pitch in high school, and his daughter also played select fast pitch, and he would be at the tournaments that I would go to as like a dad. He would like be in the stands, and I seriously
so
like.
awesome.
She played down here in Woolley.
I could never say hi. My coach knew him on a first name basis. Rich, my coach, would go over and, oh hey Jay, oh hey Rich, what's up? And like they'd shake hands and stuff, and I like was too starstruck to ever go and say hi.
Yeah, I remember because there was a tournament here in Woolley my cousin was playing in, and I went, and people kept being like, oh yeah, that's Jay Buhner's daughter over there. But he wasn't there.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, he was at a lot of the ones that I played at. But he's my favorite because of his weird stance. He had a really wide stance.
Casual. His left leg was just kind of out there.
That was fun to do when you played backyard baseball.
That was my batting stance because of my stupid eye. So he was my favorite to watch, and he is my favorite player.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even get into her stupid eye.
Dang, that's a.
I don't think he can even tell. He's looking at an angle. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell just sitting looking right.
Doesn't he have? He's got a glass eye or something, doesn't he?
What?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with him, which is why I always. He was always my favorite because I can't move my left eye, and he has some sort of a weird eye, so he was always my favorite.
And it was like so it's like a 1 in a million thing. Is that it? So she is an M tattooed behind her ear.
Nice. I have it behind the ear tattoo too.
Because M is Roman numeral for million, right?
No, it's 1,000, but a line over the top of it makes it a million. So it's basically it's super simple. I'm missing a nerve on the left side of my brain that controls the movement of my left eye this way. So
dang.
I can see out of it.
So if you look, actually, you can see her head she's tilted towards the right.
Yeah,
so that her left eye is lined up. I mean, like I said, people around you don't even think about it. You usually bring it up before people notice.
Well, because I run into things a lot. Sometimes I will be like reaching for something, and if I'm not looking right at it, or if I'm cross-eyed, I will miss it. I like won't get it. It doesn't affect very many things in my life, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have surgery again actually to fix it, but that's not gonna be till this summer.
But it's not a permanent fix, right? You were telling me about that.
It's not, because they can't do anything. They can't somehow regenerate and implant a nerve, but they take my eyeballs out and they move the muscles around and they fix the placement of where my eye sits in its socket, so that my face, the only thing it fixes is that my face will be straight, so that my nose is actually pointed straight. Blowing out candles is very hard for me. That's probably the hardest part, because I can't, what I'm looking at straight is not actually straight in front of me. So blowing out candles is a challenge for me.
It's very brave to get that surgery just for a temporary fix.
I mean, I just have to get used to a different field of vision, but
me, I'd just be like, yeah, fuck it.
What about to do a surgery where you know they're gonna take your eyes out? Things could potentially go wrong there.
I had the surgery when I was in high school, but they told me that it wasn't going to be permanent, and so I feel like 15 years later, it's time to go back and get it done again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I'm not an expert. I'll take your word for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Nothing else coming up? No, I think it's a good place to wrap up, I guess. This is how things turn into a 2-hour podcast. We're at an hour and a half already, as is.
Nice.
But usually the conversation just drifts off into randomness.
And then we hit
Although usually that's because we start talking Marvel movies and shit.
Oh, I'm not going to contribute to any of those conversations.
I know, that's why I didn't bring it up. Ricky was going to go see Shazam. That's DC's wannabe, funny
DC is better
movie.
than Marvel.
Yes.
Batman is better than anything Marvel will ever do.
Yeah, not the movies.
Yes.
The movies are not
even
better.
The ones that we've already banked. Dark Knight Trilogy, it's not going to get better than Dark Knight Trilogy.
You can't even count that.
Yes, you can, because
DC
it's fucking Batman.
movies started after that. But yeah, like I said, thanks for going on. I'm gonna try to get this up tomorrow.
Dang. Quick
Okay.
Because otherwise, pretty much have to wait till the beginning of next week because I learned that putting them out on the weekends is an awful idea.
You guys better both share it in group chat.
People don't get
We will.
on Reddit because I shared on Reddit, and people do not get on Reddit on the weekend. Apparently, anytime I've put an episode out on the weekend and shared it on Reddit on a Saturday, like no downloads.
We'll clip your explanation of your company, and then we'll make a commercial for you.
And just so you know, I'm definitely going to steal a picture off of your Facebook for promoting it on Instagram. I don't ask people.
Okay.
You're at least getting a heads up. I don't even tell people. I just like take a picture of their Instagram and make a promotional thing to put on Instagram.
Public domain.
That's fine.
Our Instagram is totally dead.
Facebook's public domain, even if your account's private?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But it's not private to me. But no, and then tell people to download this so that eventually we can make money.
Okay.
They don't have to listen.
Huh?
They don't have to listen. I don't care if anybody listens.
I want to go back and I want to listen to this one. I'll listen
Probably the less listeners, the better.
Ooh, that's brave. I didn't listen to the first couple I was on. It took me to like episode 5 or 6.
I don't listen to most of them. I listen like while I'm editing, so I get bits and pieces. But it's disconcerting how often I realize I said the wrong thing of what I thought I said.
Well, you also pronounced Quidditch as Quidditch, so you need to work on some of your speech there, Matt.
Quidditch.
Not right.
It was so like, oh yeah.
This is why I hate when they make movies out of shit. You can pronounce it however you want when it's a book. And then they make a movie and they make up their own pronunciation for Hermione, which was not how I pronounced it when I read it.
Oh, how did you pronounce it?
I don't even remember at this point. Like, I don't remember at all. I hate that.
It was probably emphasis on a different syllable than Hermione.
And now, and now anytime I reread the books,
I
picture the faces of the actors.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling you, I don't even know how I would do that, Matt.
Yeah, you can't fuck up my name.
I can't. It's too simple.
Even when you spell it wrong, it's pronounced the same. Drop a T, still Matt.
Yeah.
It's just now it's a doormat.
You can go with Vagu.
Oh yeah, last name definitely can be pronounced. I got Vogue. People call it Vogue. Like, it's V-A. It's a real word. If you read it in any other context, you would pronounce it right.
Yeah.
It is a real word. It's
Yeah.
even the same.
Huh?
It's even spelled the same.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Interesting. I
Which is
had to
ironic
second
because
guess myself there.
Just figured that out. Huh?
You're not vague at anything. You always over-explain everything.
So to me, I'm considering doing a solo podcast where I just spend like 10 to 20 minutes just over analyzing and venting about something.
You do that, so okay.
You think that would be entertaining?
I don't know about entertaining, but that's definitely something that you do. So I could see it working.
It. The funny thing is, like, I'm still enjoying whatever I overanalyze. Usually.
You know, Matt, what you could do for that is you could have Nate on with you. I feel like you would actually really enjoy that. You and Nate could go back and forth.
No, that would be good. We could definitely have some good. We would feed off each other. Problem is, I'm trying to come up with a solo one because then I can actually make sure it's just easier. Because that's the hardest. This is like, I love doing this podcast, but that's the hardest thing about this is we have to not only coordinate me and Ricky's schedules, but then also a guest.
Yeah.
Or sometimes multiple guests. Like getting Hook and Liz on a night that they're both off and like.
Even getting Corey.
Yeah, the first time we tried to get our friend Corey when he came back, and he was like, when am I on? When am I on? I was like, what about tomorrow? Okay. And then canceled.
Yeah.
And then we got him on.
It is also after midnight, so
we don't usually do it this late. This was for you. We're accommodating your schedule. She was like talking about doing it before trivia. I was like, well, I work.
Also, then I would have been late for trivia because we just keep talking. So.
I mean, were you not late for trivia anyway?
No, I was not. I was on time.
It's rare.
I'm proud of myself. I have been on time for my job almost every day. Thank you very much.
Almost every day. You've been there for like 3 weeks, and it's not even every day still.
No, almost every day.
I'm at 2 months. I've not been late yet at my job.
I'm not surprised by that. You are much better at that than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually sitting in my car for 15 minutes listening to podcasts.
I could see that.
Well, and it's funny too, because in the interview, he was like, I mean, you're a temp for 90 days. Pretty much if you're late or miss a day in that 90 days, you're gone. Well, the guy who started the same day as me and the guy who started a week and a half later were late so much before they got fired. Like, it became pretty clear. I could probably, and I'm way better than they were, so I probably could be a piece of shit employee and still keep my job.
Nice. It was the worst at Domino's because you're like, I know you fuckers are going to keep me for a half hour to like 3 hours, so I'm not going to show up on time. Like,
Yeah. Well, and then open was an hour before, but I was like, I need 15 minutes.
yeah.
I was really bad especially at Capitol Hill. I would never schedule myself because I always had 2 opening managers with me, or at least an opening manager and an opening CSR. And I had 4 drivers in the mornings every day, and they would make bets on when I was going to get into work. I was never going to be the first person, but they knew that I was going to be there. I would always show up and I would always help. But my days would usually be 12-hour days. So I was never in when I said I was going to be in. I was always late.
But yeah, so our old high school friend of that group, Colin. You would be the Colin of the group.
All right.
One time we went to the water slides and we all were meeting at Ricky's house. And I got there and Colin was already there. And he immediately was like, ha ha ha, because he's always late and we always give him shit about it. And he's like, ha ha, I beat Veg here. And then Ricky was like, well, I did tell you half an hour before him.
Yep.
And he beat me by 5 minutes.
we do that with me sometimes, but we also do with LP and then my friend Amanda. We will actually tell them the wrong time so that they'll be there on time.
Oh, I didn't know that about Amanda and LP.
Oh my God.
LP's
Seriously?
late?
Matt, so we went to a concert last week. We went to Maren Morris at Showbox.
Yeah.
We had dinner reservations at 5:15. LP showed up at 7.
Oh, so when Kyle's not coming.
No, Kyle was there too.
Oh.
LP showed up at 7 p.m. for 5:15 reservations.
I don't feel like that's a normal. I don't know. I never accept.
She's bad. Maybe you just haven't been paying attention because you give me so much crap about it, but she's just as bad as me.
Probably. I think I probably give you less crap than most people. I don't really care if it doesn't affect me.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah, we should let you go to bed. You have a meeting in 4.5 hours.
I do. I have for like a work meeting.
All right. Well, so for the 3rd time. Thanks for coming
It was
on.
very nice to meet you. Kind of.
And
Me too.
yeah, I don't know when our group's hanging out again. We got nothing yet, so
I'll see you after I get back from Maui.
when are you actually there?
I leave on the 13th. Birthday's on the 11th. I'm going to a wedding on the 12th and leaving on the 13th.
When is that? Are you guys doing? Or that was the concert you guys just did. Wasn't there a Dan and Shay concert too?
That's a week from today. That's on my birthday. Yep.
Sweet. Well, I wasn't planning on going to that, but we'll see.
Okay.
If there's tickets and if I'm working.
If
it's one of those dreaded things where I'm not working that day.
You worked
I work the next morning at
Oh.
5:50.
Yeah, don't do it. It'd be a super late night. Don't even worry about it. I'll see you when I get back.
All right. Well, have fun.
We'll come up to Cedro.
Yeah, I'll have
Hey.
to look up trivia shit. They were having that Farmstrong. I mean, if you guys want to come all the way up to Mount Vernon, Farmstrong has shit all the time.
Yeah.
Comedy nights and trivia.
Okay.
But
We'll do it.
all right. Well, see you later. Glad
Have a good
you and
night.
Ricky finally met. He's a real human. We don't really have a cast sign off.
We don't.
This has been a Northern State podcasting production.
That sounds good. I like it. You should work with that.
All right. Bye.
Bye.